Hey there, it's Dean from sciaticareliefnow.net, and I am with Terri, who is one of the three Miller Monroe sisters from British Columbia who have invaded our page and have taken me up on the free video consult. This is the third of the three sisters that I have worked with, and it's been a pleasure working with her. Terri has been having back issues since her late 20s, early 30s, was told way back then that surgery might be needed, and she actually did have a laminectomy. It was either L4-5 or L5-S1. I don't remember which one you told me.
L5-S1.
L5-S1 that initially gave some relief, but as normal back surgeries go, after a while, the old symptoms have returned, and she's been living with this pain pretty constantly for how many years, Terri, did you say?
Well, badly. This past year has probably been one of the worst because in addition to having the pre-existing back issues, I also had a fairly high-speed car accident that acted on my body much like being rear-ended at 60 miles an hour. So it's been really bad this year. But it's been bad for 9 or 10 years for sure.
Okay, so 9 or 10 years she's been dealing with this pain. Literally just woke up because it's only a little bit after 6 o'clock in the morning up in British Columbia, 9 o'clock here on the East Coast for me. She also, because of the car accident, had some whiplash and some left shoulder pain with some rotator cuff fraying. So we got on the call, did a couple exercises, and I'm just going to turn it over to Terri for her to let you know what the results were of the simple little things that we did today by simply working the sides that were looser, more comfortable, less restricted with 2 or 3 different exercises. So Terri, thanks for taking me up on this offer, and thanks for being willing to come online this early and let me use your testimonial.
Well, thank you, Dean. Yeah, as Dean was saying, I've had back pain for most of my adult life, like as long as I can remember. I even mentioned a bit earlier that I had a cyst in one of my lower back joints when I was 13, had that removed when I was 20. So on and off most of my life, I can remember having back pain. And I kind of just thought it was normal. But as I've gotten older, so I'm 52 now, from about 35 on, it's been just part of my daily existence. And since I started a job that requires I walk on concrete floors all the time and duty boots, it has become quite intense. There's often times at work where I have to use desks to move around the office, or because I can't stand straight up from sitting. So this morning with Dean, we did some really, really simple things that kind of, in a way, don't make sense to me, but do make sense. What has happened is I have worked the opposite side of my body, so the side of my body that doesn't hurt as much. Both sides hurt, but this one doesn't hurt as much. And doing the work on the one side of the body has actually loosened up the painful side of the body. So in fact, I'm actually sitting upright in a chair right now. And what's unusual about that is ordinarily when I'm sitting upright like this in a chair, I feel this awful pinching feeling in the upper front of my thigh, right thigh, into the hip joint area, which is quite excruciating, and it's actually restricted my driving, the time I can spend in vehicles, the time I can spend sitting. And I'd say that pain isn't there right now, so we'd have to call that 100% improvement because I'm just sitting and it's not hurting, which is just kind of bizarre. Moving around, like Dean had me get up and walk around a bit, and I'm much looser. It just feels like the whole pelvic girdle actually kind of moves normally when I'm walking instead of being really constricted when I'm walking. So yeah, I guess like my sisters, this actually helps a lot. It helps a lot, and it's worth, I mean, seriously, what has anybody got to lose by doing a free video call? I don't think Dean would make the rest of you do it at 6 o'clock in the morning. But you know, I'm not.
Maybe that's the secret. 6 o'clock in the morning or bust.
Yeah, right.
Get up early for people on the farther east for me, so we're not going to do that.
Ding dong.
So.
But yeah.
Well, Michelle, I appreciate it. And overall, you said you were feeling how much better from when we started?
Overall, 70 or 80% better. For the one side, it's 100% better right now. in the moment, in this motion. 100% better. So.
And when you stood up and walked around, you said it was about 80%, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, just significantly looser, and it just feels way less constricted.
And how's your left shoulder doing after we worked your right shoulder?
Good. See, I actually did that without it completely grabbing the, my left shoulder feels way better as well.
Awesome.
Now I need you to do is fix my
sport. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking me up on this, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, Dean.